Hello and welcome to TFT EU vs NA Mortdog Madness tournament, where some of the biggest TFT streamers compete. Day 1, Game 2, enjoy.
Snooty, and here are the options: Double Trouble, Clockwork Heart, and Backfoot.
This is interesting because with the teardrop, he's maybe going for a bit more of an AP setup, so doesn't really backfoot still benefits AP a lot. He is actually going to go for Clockwork Heart, potentially go for the 4 Clockwork build, which that's a boatload of attack speed. It's a great trait. The problem is to play base 4 Clockwork, you have to play a Camille. And just playing that 1 cost almost dead unit on your board is not something you usually want to do, but is if with Snooty Boo's Clockwork Heart, he can get 4 Clockwork in playing Zillion, who's not even really a dead unit. That stun can be really valuable, and he's also an innovator trait bot. You have Jhin and Orianna, Jhin being one of the premier 4-cost carries on this patch, and Orianna just being one of the strongest units in general. I was actually looking at some of the units average placements, and Orianna actually has higher average placement than about half of the 5 costs. So if Snooty can get to that 4 Clockwork later in the game, gonna have a very, very strong setup.
Yeah, Ori is insanely strong, and Ori and Jhin can slot into that kind of innovator setup with the Zillion if that's the decision Snooty Boo decides to go. I mean, you can play the Zillion without it, right? Like, you don't have to go in that direction, but it is still an option, and going for those Clockworks can be quite powerful. It's definitely like a scaling augment. It's funny, it's usually the ones that give traits are not necessarily there to scale you into the late game. They can help when you get to that late game as well, but they'll a lot of times spike you in the early game a lot more. Clockwork is very much just, this is more of like an econ augment than it is a power augment for the early game.
Yeah, and Snooty not even gonna play the Zillion for now, gonna get into Yordles plus the Leona. It is a stronger board that has Yordles in it, still takes the win over Robin, so gonna get that econ start going, gonna get the gold snowballing. Also opts to slam a Sunfire Cape, so is gonna want to opt for that bodyguard frontline, get more value out of that item, so strong setup for him early.
All right, jumping on with Robin. More Yordles. Everybody's playing Yordles. You got Yordles everywhere.
Yeah, we saw it in the first game over in Lobby D as well, just Yordles all over the place. Same over here. We've already hit 2 players and they both have Yordles, so everyone trying econ, still trying to maintain some HP. I mean, Robin slamming the static shiv, it's not, or actually he got it from component grab bag. Which is nice.
Really, so, that's a good item grab bag to get just a static shiv. It's a pretty flexible item.
Yeah, good grab bag, so he's going to be maintaining some HP early. It's not like he's playing Yordles and completely sacrificing his health. So gonna run into Olo Soy Sergio, who, you know what I see.
Hey, there's a Talon on that board, Jirachi.
Yeah, there is.
There's a Talon there. There's actually 2 Talons. There's 2 Talons already. Oh no, 2 Talons.
Please.
2 Talons?
I will
Can
I will accept the Talon player even if it's EU.
Can I get 9 Talons?
My allegiance is to Talon over NA versus EU.
Okay, so we have 2 EU supporters with Morton Panda. We got 1 NA for me, and then we have Talon, which is the region that Riley is representing here.
The Talon region. Yeah, pretty much.
All right, there we go. Okay, Gunblade Slam onto the Corki for Robin. That's going to make a lot more power on this board. Corki 2 with the Gunblade, got Twin Shot in. Definitely going to kill units at the very least. Might be able to win some rounds. Not the most powerful board, but still pretty strong for 2-3.
Yeah, I believe Robin got a BF Sword Poppy off Carousel to play Yordles with, and that's why there was just a random BF Sword on the Poppy. He opted not to make the Poppy 2, even with the option, opted instead to remake, get the BF Sword off, and slam this Gunblade on the Corki 2. Playing around the carries, he now has a strong board after sacking 2 rounds, getting a little bit of a loss streak, getting some pick priority, potentially can still get first pick on 90 HP. With a strong board with potential 2-3 win streak through the rest of stage 2, that is about a dream start.
Wait, that's
with
a Gnar 2.
That is in fact the Gnar 2, yes. Huh?
What?
What?
Snooty?
Snooty?
Well, we were talking about Clockwork needing to scale up a little bit, kind of being a dead augment early game, but I guess if you just get a Gnar 2, then you're just fine. No worries. No, it's all good.
That It helps. That's yeah.
All right,
It's-
Leza grabs a spat.
Yeah. Especially with the tome introduced, Lesaford could get some potentially crazy synergy setups going. Same
yeah.
thing with Snooty, actually. If he pulls a Clockwork emblem off the tome, now you're playing Camille, but you're playing her for 6 Clockwork. That is 100% worth playing that trait bot for. For Olosoy Sergio, though, oh look, it's
There's a couple talons there.
fourth Talon. Grab the
Hey.
bow off carousel. This is a full Talon send if I've ever seen one.
It's definitely a talent setup. It really is. It really is. I also wanted to note though, just because we haven't talked too much about everybody's augments. Raditz grabbed an ancient archives as well, so that's like really fun to see. Another tome, because there's going to be so many tomes that you just have all these different traits, and Raditz another person who can go to those kind of crazy synergy setups potentially later in the game, so we'll want to have eyes on that eventually. But yeah, this is a talent, and really I have no business talking about talent. I have Riley right here.
I got you. And what Sergio is doing, not surprising. He went on a 2-win streak, took 1 loss, and now he's just going to up to full econ, especially with Treasure Trove as his first augment. At 40 gold already, normally full open fort, full econ, with buying barely any units, you're normally at 30 gold right here. So he is very rich. He's going to just choose to make econ and commit to a 3 loss streak into neutral, still saving a good amount of HP because you have a Talon 2, you have a Nocturne 2, you have the extra Talon. Just gonna full sell the poppies, clear bench, clear mind. I'm just gonna have the Sins on the board. I'm going to get this loss streak into neutrals, and it also gives him pick priority. He's higher up in the leaderboard. He has good items, but he does need a little bit of help to get to 3 good talent items, has the setup for it, and this is looking like it's going to angle towards a roll pretty deep on 3-2. Yeah, he has the Talon 2, but just the Talon 2 is not going to stabilize you. You do need the rest of the board. You need the Echo, you need Leona, probably going to want either a Syndra 2 or a Blitzcrank 2. Blitzcrank 2 is going to be a little bit better. And then you can actually play that with this Nocturne 2 on level 6. This is something I've been doing a decent amount. Even if he doesn't pull the Assassin emblem from the Tome of Traits, you just still play a random Nocturne 2. That unit does so much work early.
Yeah, the big thing that I want to note about all those cells, it actually got him to 50 gold prior to Krugs there. If he didn't sell everything, he wouldn't have been able to make 50 gold. So yes, there's the level of open forting to keep the loss streak, but also by doing so is like making additional econ on that specific round. So I really like that a lot. I also want to note we did see Raditz there on that fight, and it was a Clockwork emblem off of their early tome from Ancient Archive. So we got another player who can potentially go for those big Clockwork plays. It did look like he wanted to reroll Tryndamere though, with those items and with the 2-star Tryndamere already. So it might just be a couple Clockwork with challengers, and that can be also very strong, just getting, double over-indexing into all that attack speed.
Yeah, if Raditz can get access to 4 Clockwork with the Tryndamere board and all the challengers and all the Chemtechs, that is a lot of attack speed. It's so
like
much.
a few. It's like a few attack speed.
A few attack speed?
Yeah,
just
like a couple.
Just a few. And by a few, we mean you have 3 traits going giving you attack speed. Oh boy.
All right, but there's the tomes have come out of the eggs. We got Setsuko just sitting on theirs for now. We jumping over here, fighting against Aniko, who also has not slammed theirs.
This Camille is kind of a beast, not gonna lie. I've run into a few Camille's on ladder actually with these super tank items that just don't die.
Yeah.
This is one of the best standalone tank units in the early game right now. The Rabadon's just a little bit of extra shielding, the Sunfire Cape, so it is doing damage while not dying. Wipes the board a little bit with Setsuko, which it be like that, but Nico looking to really push a win streak here, looking to play that style of getting to the super late game cap board from ahead.
I get why we went spat for Leza. Synaptic mutant.
Oh.
And getting spats is pretty good for that, especially if you can find an Ari later on. So cool setup for Leza. early falling very low on HP, but he's got a good late game setup if he can find that extra spat, if he can find the units that he needs.
Okay. Synaptic has kind of fallen off as the mutant everyone's complaining about because Darkstar, the Voracious Appetite exists. But it's still strong. You still get the mutant spat on the Ari. You can still play 7 mutant with the Synaptic Web. It's still strong. Voracious Appetite is taken over. Let's not forget how strong this mutant trait is as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think this trait specifically is extra strong when you have spats. And now, with the extra being able to pull in those emblems and potentially find mutant emblems, it gives a lot more value to Synaptic. Because I do think that's where the strongest value from it came from. Now we've got Double Trouble, Weak Spot, Debonair Crown as options for Leza. I don't know that any of this is what they wanted to see.
I'm pretty sure this is not good.
Yeah,
you kind of just have to take Debonair Crown, but that doesn't seem great when you've already tried to commit. You've already tried to commit to mutants, and yeah, you can get 5 Debonair in for now, and actually 5 and 7 Debonair both got buffs on this patch, so they're actually worth playing now. But now Lezaford has to change around his whole game plan when he's tried to commit to Synaptic Mutants. When he's 46 HP, changing around your game plan when you're this unhealthy is kind of suspect.
Yeah.
So we'll see if Leza can recover this, see what he makes out of this Debonair Mutant setup.
My only other thought was try and play for Mouse 3. And play Double Trouble Mouse. But the thing is, I don't even know if that's strong enough. Because you just want Ari, you have Synaptic with the emblem, so you're not necessarily playing for Mal's to be your carry. So it does make sense to just go Debonair, try and go for 5 Debonair, get the extra AP alongside Synaptic, get some extra HP as well, just the longevity of these mutants. It might just be mutant Debonair X item for the Ari so that she's tankier and has no mana cost.
We'll see. It is also the strongest option right now. You're not taking Weak Spot 3, playing AP, Double Trouble, hard to fit in right now, so Debonair Crown...
And you're at 46 HP!
Yeah, you have to save some HP. Yeah. You can maybe make a setup work out of it later, and it is the strongest right now.
Alright, well, just going through some of these, we do see Socialite Soul for Snooty Boo, so we might see... another big Socialite game, especially with the Clockwork. There's a lot of attack speed on top of those other bonuses. Sergio Golden Ticket, so we're going to see a lot more rerolling from Sergio, more shops. Minute does get a new recruit, so more units for them as well. A lot of interesting pickups, a lot more of just the pretty generic pickups across the rest of the board here. See a level up, and there's the 5th Debonair with 8 Talon 2. That's going to be a big spike, at least for now.
Yeah, he's going to opt to roll a little bit as well. He's got a couple pairs, really needs to find the spike here. Finds a Silco, level 7, that 1%. Has a Malzahar pair as well. If he can hit this, finds the Clockworks, actually, that we've called out earlier. Finds a Vex2 as well. Okay, he's finding these stronger Arcanist upgrades. If he can find this Malzahar too, then... This is a pretty strong level 7 board that can get him to level 8. Gets a Mutant Spat on the Vex 2 as well. Really just wants that Malzahar, and then he's good to go. But Raditz with this Tryndamere, and he got Weak Spot 3 as his augment.
Yeah.
Okay, go Tryndamere. Is it going to be enough? Not quite.
Nah, but Ray is very strong right now. That was just a pretty big spike for Leza, getting that Vex 2, getting, those upgrades in. So it makes sense that Ray could have fallen there, especially with the amount of gold that he's got. He's still trying to roll down and everything. Open bench currently, so not close to any of the upgrades, but at least there's a Warwick 2 in the shop. And just having the 2 Clockwork additionally from the emblem is just giving additional power here.
Yeah, he's actually debating whether to buy this right now because you can see his pool is Setsuko and Robin. He does opt to make it for the possibility of hitting Sergio, and maybe it makes the board strength a little more even. But he hasn't rolled for this board. He's kind of just got a Tryndamere too, as far as I can tell. So really good, strong natural power. Not surprising he lost to Lezaford, who did opt to go all in. So, gonna go back right to beating up on Robin a little. Robin just not killing units.
Oof.
Rather unfortunate.
Yeah, big loss there for Robin into Ray. But Ray, you know, talking about how he needs his team to carry him, but he's in a very good position yet again. Had a good game one. His game two, a lot of gold to work with to try and complete this composition.
I think this is where we can tell who's been on vacation in NA and who's been actually putting work in. Honestly, Ray has something to prove. He didn't go to Worlds. He's not Setsuko, who hit 2k LP. I mean, NA has good players. They don't have much to prove anymore. Raditz, coming into this, he wants to prove something. He wants to prove that he can carry his weight on his team. And so far, he's not just carrying his weight. He is the weight.
He's carrying the team for sure. We're going to pick up another bow, potentially more items, decent Warwick items potentially, that those two can turn into two good components. And we'll see if the rerolls start happening. It's just going to be level to 7 and start rolling down, trying to look for the Trindomirs.
Yeah,
Probably going to be a slow roll.
Looks like he's going to slow roll on level 7, finds 1. He's also looking for a 5th Chemtech to play. Doesn't quite find one, just going to opt for a Sejuani for now. Honestly, there's a chance he just goes level 8 off this board, though. If from this far ahead, you can maybe top 4 off the Trindomir 2, and so you want to find a guaranteed spike on level 8. But, speaking of re-rolling, you know what I saw on the sidebar? I saw a Talon 3 for Sergio.
Yeah, I mean, we knew he was playing it, but the fact that he's hit at this point is fantastic. This is around the point where you really want to be hitting, right? 4-1 is like, you got to be hitting your Talon 3 around this time. I mean, I know you can play without it, but this is like very good timing to get there.
Yeah, you can live with hitting Talon 3 around 5-1, and you're still in a good spot. But with Sergio having 4 Talons that early on stage 2, I imagine he's been saving up a good amount of econ, didn't roll too much on 3-2, was able to save econ to slow roll infinitely for Talons on stage 3, is able to go in, find the Talon 3, and at 76 HP, that's about your dream spot for a Talon player.
All right, find a Senate 2 from Minote. We do have the new recruit that I talked about earlier, so a lot of units on this board. 4 scrap, 3 inno. A lot of clockwork in this game so far. Most of it because of emblems, but we just have the 2 here with the Camille 1. And that is an Ari that's been found by Leza. And what did I say? We were going to see Debonair, mutant Ari with 1 additional item. I'm pretty sure Gunblade might be the best possible one. Let's see if those casts can come through. 1 more. There it is. Leza finds that win.
Good, finds the win, and it's also a great loss for Minute. Just the 1 unit. It's just the unkillable Ari, but enough to keep Lesaford hanging on. Also keep him a win streak. That's about the best possible scenario. You can get Lesaford back into the game. You keep his econ going. You let him actually get to level 8. Aniko taking a 1 unit win over Setsuko as well. These teammates really keeping each other alive, even in a lobby where a lot of players are rolling pretty aggressively. Manute going in on level 7. I imagine Robin is as well. Lesaford went in on level 7, albeit on 3-5. So a little bit more aggressive of a lobby than the greedier lobbies we saw last game. But still, players keeping each other alive.
Yeah, keeping each other alive for sure. Robin, the lowest at 21 HP. Gonna be Setsuko, though, in this fight. Like a couple scholars, a lot of scholars in. We even have that scholar emblem. That's going to be, for now, a Syndra carry. Debonair Syndra.
Very cool setup for Setsuko, actually. He has the VIP 4 Scholar Syndra. Isn't opting to reroll it. Usually players want to get lifelong learning in order to be able to reroll that Syndra. Setsuko doesn't have it. He's just using the Syndra as a mid-game AP carry. Looks like he might... He's gonna take this win over Manute. The Leona can't quite do it. Does kill an extra unit, but Setsuko hanging on as well. A lot of healthy players. Robin down at 10 HP though. Level 8, but not looking great.
No, not looking good for Robin in this game for sure. Noting that Setsuko has Scholar Heart alongside that Scholar Emblem, so a lot of Scholars for Setsuko and just all that mana generation. Yeah, for right now, he's got the AP carry of the Syndra, but he's going to have an easy time fitting in, 2 or 4 Scholars. And because of that, he can play a lot of just anything that is going to do well with those scholars. Any mana using things like a Victor late game potentially as an option.
And Setsuko playing that 4 Scholar for now has the 6 Scholar potential. We're seeing a showcase of players playing traits that got buffed. 4 and 6 Scholar got buffs recently. Setsuko opting into that tree now.
4 Clockwork now here for Snooty. Do have 6 Nars, 7 Nars even, actually. As we do find that Debonair Draven. Going to just sell the Gnar, put in the Draven. We're playing that Draven too. Getting all those items onto him now.
Yeah, and Snooty had the Gnar too. Yada was giving him 3 Socialite, and now taking the Gnar out. 3 Socialite's gone, but you still want to play around the upgraded 4-cost carry. Very close fight. The Draven barely hanging on, but it looks like it will just be enough. Not quite. Hold Orianna cast, finishing it off.
The Orianna did it, but the Syndra got hooked, so it is very, very close, actually. The Syndra was blowing up that board, but she didn't get the second cast off. If she did, I mean, Snooty's Boo's board would have been gone instantly, no kills whatsoever. But because that Syndra gets caught out, Snooty's able to make it a close loss.
Yeah, and looking at these augment options, you got some really good options. Instantly takes the cybernetic shell. You want the AD on these units anyway. You want attack damage on attack damage carries. But I'm going to just point out some of the itemization that Snooty Boo is doing. He's opted to put Rageblade, Titans, and the Quicksilver on the Draven. And I think this is correct because you don't want the Bloodthirster on. You're gonna get in 3 Socialite eventually. Even if it's not for that round, that's gonna give the Draven the healing. You don't need to have the Bloodthirster on. You can opt to put it on this Jhin instead. You're gonna put the just random excess items on the Jhin, get that as a good secondary carry, and you can get in 5 Socialite for a Draven too.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. The Socialite's still able to fit in those last 3 Socialites, and in a very good position with these items on the Draven. We've seen how strong 5 Socialite is. We saw it in that last lobby with the Kaisa. I mean, this is a Draven for now, but I think a Draven is going to just do wonders with that 4 Clockwork alongside the 5 Socialite.
And this board, again, is I'm not going to have frontline, I'm just going to have damage. Opts to take out all the bodyguards except Leona, and just leaving 5 Socialite, 4 Clockwork Draven. But you know who has a great time into Draven? It's the Talon with pretty much best in slot items. Ooh. Gunblade, Infinity Edge, Rapid Fire Cannon. There's a couple options for your quote-unquote best in slot Talon items. This is one of them. Sergio, such a strong Talon board.
Yeah, and Snooty takes a big chunk from that one. Sergio's positioning was very strong there, getting the Talon immediately onto the Draven. Picks out the main carry, and that just means that Snooty not able to really kill much of anything. Come here to Iniko, double cybernetic uplink there, and that's going to be huge for just generating mana onto this Renata.
Yeah, do you even need blue buff with this much mana generation? So. I think he still wants the blue buff if he can get it, but he doesn't end up getting it. But honestly, not the end of the world. You have so much mana generation anyway. If he can find the Silco, I think that's going to be key. He's really going to want to find that unit specifically to get the first cast off. Then once you get the first cast off, get that damage starting to tick, then cybernetic uplink is going to get you the rest of the way, get you to piling on that damage. Gonna slam the Hand of Justice, get a carry item on the Renata. Makes complete sense. Also good spreading around of the item components, actually not opting to make any full items on the Senna or this Orianna. Just have the components on, get maximum uplink value when you have cybernetic uplink for 100% worth.
Oh yeah, I mean, so much mana just being given to this side. Don't even have Scholar in yet, and it's still just a ton of mana. And the Renata going to be able to heal up quite a bit as well because of that Hand of Justice slam. You know, normally, of course, you would want the Gunblade to try and heal more people, but the fact is, she's going to keep herself topped up the entire time unless she gets fully focused down with the amount of damage she's pumping out.
Also, great little micro from Iniko there. Even with him figuring out his items, figuring out his board, nails the Zephyr onto the Talon. that actually won him the fight. He's not really positioned for the Talon. Talon would just jump in the back line, kill the Senna, and then kill the Renata, getting the Zephyr on the Talon. Really key win for Nico. Goes level 8, finds the Silco instantly. I imagine that's going in. That is in fact going in. Is going to get that instant Renata cast, and now Nico is in a strong spot.
Oh yeah, I mean that's so big because you get the Scholar in, you get the extra mana immediately on the Renata, and then Silco's just going to help supplement that front line. Your Renata is pretty safely going to always be max HP because of the Hand of Justice. You don't have to worry about her ever getting just randomly caught off by that, but it just buys more time, and that's all Renata wants. That's why she synergizes with Bruisers. That's why she synergizes with the front line in general. She just needs time to stack up the poison, put all that damage out, and she's going to have that time.
Yeah, takes the win over Setsuko, who's still running the Syndra carry for now. Not what Setsuko wants to really be in as his final carry board. If he stays there and can pull out a top 5, top 4 out of that, he's not going to be upset. It's not ideal, but for now, Nico in a strong spot, Setsuko with potential if he can get out of that Syndra carry. Manute, though, on his last life, but has found the Sivir board. Issue I'm seeing, though, the items, you normally want the Last Whisper, you want these bow items on the Sivir because she can spread it around teams so well. Manute has the itemized Aurelia. It's not... Yeah, this Aurelia is going to be a really strong carry, but you don't have Last Whisper spreading all over enemy teams that in the same way that Sivir would be doing.
I will say having that duet alongside the 2-star Aurelia, 2-star Sivir, going to be quite strong. Just curious if the one item Sivir is going to be enough to take out some of these stronger boards, especially, you know, Iniko on that Renata does have the Vi too now, who's just running rampant in the back line, and that's just going to be it for Manute. Nico, I mean, that Vi is just as terrifying as the Renata at this point.
Yeah, gonna take down Manute, that Vi too. This premier tank of the set, it is the strong 4-cost front line that also does some damage. You get the Titan's Resolve onto it like Nico did. It got to the back line. It got to the Sivir. It basically took the Sivir out on its own. That's how strong that unit is, not just as frontline, but also as a secondary carry.
We see Mutant Spat taken by Setsuko. Don't think you can let Leza have that. I don't think that would be good for anybody.
I like
except
that.
for EU, I guess.
Setsuko thinks he's going out in 6th anyway. Let's grief the other team. Let's make sure Leza can't do anything. He's going to accept his fate and do what he needs to for the team. Great team play. Let's see if it sets up for Leza to be a little bit weaker and for Ray and Nico to take those top 2 spots.
Yeah, it's big. Snooty though, 5 Socialite Kaisa 2. Hey, look, I've seen this one before. I think I've seen this one.
Did I say top 2 spots? I meant 2nd and 3rd spots.
Yeah, there you go. But there's also, you know, a Clapio in the front line. You take a look at the itemization on that Galio.
This board, man.
Some big hits coming out of that one.
This Tryndamere 3 is really strong, but wait.
Oh, wait
a
a
second.
second.
Wait.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
No, it's Cass. It's a 5 Socialite Kaisa 2. Who are we kidding?
know.
Who are we kidding?
I know. It got so close though. One more crit.
Yeah, pretty close.
There's a world. There is a world that Ray wins that fight.
Copium.
But it's fight RNG and it's a lot of copium.
Very lot of copium right there. And Setsuko, like I said, bites the bullet, griefs Leza forward, and just goes down in 6. Did his job for now. We've got our top 5. We've got 3 EU versus 2 NA, so still pretty balanced out. We've got a lot of strong boards. Snooty's Kaisa 2 with 5 Socialite. We got Raditz, who's playing the Tryndamere 3 from ahead. Sergio is actually the one who's starting to fall off. That early Talon 3 just not quite keeping up enough with these boards, especially when you've got players who are actively targeting you even more so than normal Sin comps would.
Yeah, going up against Snooty, a really good Shroud and good Talon positioning, but I still don't know if it's enough because it's 5 Socialite Kaisa. I mean, we mentioned it before. There it is. There's the full heal. Yep, some ticks from Talon, but yeah, there you go. Still just going to be losing a lot of HP.
Yeah, this is one of Talon's tougher matchups. yeah, you can get onto the Kaisa, but the Kaisa just dashes away, and especially with the 5 Socialite, any damage you get onto her, not gonna stick whatsoever. And also, I know why Sergio hit this Talon 3 so early, because he got Golden Ticket on 3-3, so hits the Talon super early, that's his power spike, it got him to this point, but now he's down, he doesn't have combat augments. His combat augments are Cutthroat, and that's it. So, does well getting into this spot, but as much as I hate to say it, I don't think we're going to see Talon go too much further.
Yeah, it is wild, though, with how early he hit the Talon for this to just be a 5th, right? It feels like, you know, you could have found the top 4, but as you mentioned, just no combat augments, and it just makes such a big difference in these lobbies that it does feel like are going longer because a lot of the kind of ways that players are trying to mitigate how much damage they're dealing to their teammates, which means the overall damage numbers are trending a little bit lower than we see a lot of the time.
Yeah, he did make it to level 9, which is a place Talon players don't get to that often. And this, if he hit a couple more of these units, if he found the Zeri 2, this would actually be a super strong Talon board, about as close as you can get to capped out. But as is, doesn't really cap out. Raditz with the Trin 3 might be able to take him down.
I don't know. The way this fight went, it actually looks pretty good for Sergio. The Tryndamere has actually had very little uptime in the fight. Was hitting something that ran away from him, and then immediately when he got onto a target, got thrown away just like that by the Syndra. So overall, a good fight overall for Sergio with the positioning, the fight RNG kind of going his way. And Ray ends up losing that one. So gonna hold on a little bit longer for the Talon as Snooty Boo surprisingly takes a chunk there, goes down to 8.
Yeah, he might be biting the bullet, got Sergio on the top 4. But for Raditz, what else could have Sergio on the top 4 is the Tryndamere matchup not being the best into the Talon, just because of Syndra. As long as Tryndamere is hitting things, he's gonna heal up. But when Syndra throws the Tryndamere, and the chances of that happening are very likely because Tryndamere is likely going to spin right into Syndra's face, then the Tryndamere isn't healing up, doesn't have that uptime, can get taken down super easily. I know what you're reacting to, though. Raditz found the Kaisa, found the 6 Challenger, so this Tryndamere is an absolute menace, just rapid fire whacking away, actually beats. That's the 5 Socialite Kaisa 2 going down.
And that's why I was shocked that Snooty had lost a fight, right? So I don't know who Snooty lost to. But Snooty lost that fight, went down to 8, and now Snooty is actually losing to Ray with the 6 Challenger being put in, because I mean, we mentioned it was a close fight the last time. Like, it was like 1 or 2 more crits from Tryndamere, and he actually takes down the Kaisa in time. And it seems like the 6 Challenger is making the difference. It's making enough attacks come through that Ray can actually win that. And just as a note, I got the note, Snooty lost to Leza. So Leza on that win streak with the Synaptic, with the Mutant Spats, still as powerful as we expected, but maybe even more powerful with the fact that they're taking out Snooty.
Leza, even with not getting that extra Mutant Spat because Setsuko griefed it, still very strong, still on a win streak in this lobby that is down to a 2v2, and Raditz with the 6 Challenger, Tryndamere
but
3.
Kaisa's untouched.
Kaisa
is completely untouched. And no, Trynd doesn't hit in time. This time doesn't win. Beat the Ghost does not beat the real thing just yet, but I think Ray can. I still think a positioning difference there of the Tryndamere being able to find their way onto the Kaisa earlier does present opportunity for Ray to win that, but it's not. I think it's probably like maybe 7 or 8 times out of 10 Snooty wins, but Ray can find wins in that.
Yeah, there's a world that Raditz can easily take the top 2. I don't know if he can beat Lezaford, but can maybe get this top 2 at the safest,
there's
probably
3
top
spats.
3. Wait.
Doing Debonair 7 Mutant 7?
Okay, so Lezaford wins the lobby. So any doubt this man wins?
It's a Zeri too?
Any? No? Nah.
No.
No. Just
No.
What is this board? Oh.
This is disgusting.
Yeah.
He's weakening, I guess he's playing Snooty?
He's playing Snooty, so he's weakening his board. Yeah, exactly. He's keeping Snooty in the game. He can make that swap super easily because he's already level 9. Yeah, he's on a win streak, but Econ is fake at this point. You're already at this point.
He's gonna take a lot of damage for that, but he does have a lot of HP to spare.
Who cares? He is now on 1 life probably, but he keeps Snooty in the game. So we'll see how much this actually hurts him. If there's a world that Raditz or Nico can beat him, then this hurts. The thing is, I'm looking at this board and I don't think there's a single realm where Ray or Nico beats this man.
Are you telling me that you don't think that 7 Debonair, 7 Synaptic Mutant with Mutant Zeri and Mutant Ari can lose here? You think this board is just gonna win? I'm inclined to agree with you.
I do too, for what it's worth. just a little bit strong. We have a board that has just a little bit of strength, just the tiniest bit.
It's just you know, it's all right. It's okay. It's like an okay board.
Just okay. But with the matchups though, Lezaford is hitting Raditz. And Raditz
Ray.
18 HP. He has the Kaisa 2 with the Chemtech spat, so this is doable for Ray at the very least.
Everything got shrouded.
Might stay alive.
His entire comp got shrouded.
Yeah, has the
Maybe
Victor as well.
Wait
a second.
Wait a minute.
Wait.
Tryndamere? Full HP Tryndamere?
Oh my, wait.
He's got it.
Wow.
He's got it. Does he kill him? No, not quite. 4 HP. Uh-oh. Now, sacking all that HP into Snooty maybe wasn't his worth. We'll see. Leza on 1 life, Snooty on 1 life, and Nico on 1 life. So, unless Snooty places first or places very highly, that might have been a mistake from Leza, what seemed like a safe bet. I guess we're wrong. This comp, beatable. The entire board of Ray was shrouded.
Yup.
He still won.
And Ray's about to hit Lezaford. There's a world that Lezaford actually takes a 4th with the 7 Debonair, 7 Mutant. Or actually, no, he's saying Snooty Boo. I'm getting my matchups wrong. But Lezaford's probably gonna get the 2nd. He probably beats a Nico. So that placement with this final 4 in stage 7 comes down to who takes a worse loss, Snooty Boo or a Nico. All 4 players on 1 life. It's looking likely that it's going to be Raditz versus Lezaford as the top 2.
Yeah. Snooty can still beat Ray. It's possible.
Oh, yeah.
It's you know, the 5 socialite is just so strong. It really just depends on target selection from Ray. It's not as impactful on target selection if suddenly now his own 2-star Kaisa and his 2-star Victor can just snipe out that Kaisa as well, right? It's not as down to the Tryndamere as it has been, but a lot of CC coming down. We might not even see a cast from the Victor. There it finally comes through, the Tryndamere running rampant, but that is the Kaisa still alive. There's the cast, and there it is. There's the win. Snooty Boo stays alive, but Ray's on 1. Ray is on 1, and Ray might be able to position better in the next fight to win that.
Nico beat Lezaford?
Wait, Leza went down to... No shot. So now, Ray and Nico have to decide who can beat Snooty, who has a better chance. Right now, I would have thought it was Ray, but I'm now not as familiar with what is going on Nico's board if he was able to beat Leza.
Wait, this lobby got nuts out of nowhere. This, like you said, this is where the team play aspect comes in. Nico and Ray are facing each other. They gotta decide who's gonna beat Snooty, and at some point, they know that Snooty's gonna hit a ghost potentially, so they both position for Snooty while figuring out who's going to
the Victor
lose.
2 and Silco 2 for Nico.
But
that's the big change. That's the big difference.
Wait, does a Nico
just
win?
A ghost?
A Nico's ghost. Does wait?
No.
The Kaisa took it. And
okay,
Ray goes down
to a Nico.
That was actually so close. A different Victor cast, and maybe a Nico takes that over Snooty. I said that a Nico was likely to go out in 4th. Never mind. He's the last one standing, the only hope against Snooty Boo's 5 socialite, Kaisa 2, Galio 2 with the AD items and the Striker emblem. A Nico with his capped out board as well. Last hope of NA versus the last hope of EU in this game.
I mean, seeing how that fight went, I feel like since that was a ghost, I mean, Nico, I have to give a slight favor to coming into this. We're going to see how the Zephyrs land, and he gets the Kaisa. That should be able to lock it up for Nico, because by the time she comes down, here comes a Victor cast on top. There's the first one from Nico's Victor 2. It's going to get a lot out, but it doesn't touch the Kaisa just yet. However, we still have a lot of damage from Renata. She's still tanking up. She's still healthy. One more Victor cast. One more Kaisa trying to turn it around. She's going to get another cast. There's the knockup. There's the finish. And Nico takes it down for North America. Takes it down for Disney Fast Pass.
Nails the Zephyr, nails the Shroud, nails everything.
And this is the end of game 2, and I will see you in the next game.